Hello and welcome to
Hey, we like your pod.
And we're going to tell you why. Hi, it's Dawn here, and my two came out really weird there. And so sorry about that. And I'm joined as always by my trusted partner, Matt Pickett. Long time no see, Maddie. Look at you in your summery shirt. I love it.
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks again. I think the last time was 3 weeks since it, and it's gonna be 3 weeks until our next one. So we're kind of on a every 3 weeks going on here, but that's just the off-season schedule, folks. Don't worry, when it's back on in the regular season, we'll be coming to you every week. But summer, taking a little easy. So some people like Iowa Joe might say that we're being slackers, but I think it's just we're going with the season.
It's just a year. It's got nothing to do with off season in my situation. But
the off season is a convenient excuse, so we can just go with that.
Okay, that sounds good. Oh my gosh, the off season, my friend was like, "Oh, I didn't know that," because they were asking what I'm doing, and I said football. I didn't know there was football, and I'm like, there's always something going on in the NFL.
Yep.
Like, you're all missing out if you don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. I came across a couple of parents at an orientation session just the other day. The mom was wearing a big old Packer shirt, so I was like, "Oh, go Pack, go!" Let's stop and talk to them. There's messages coming through Twitter, alerts from OTAs, like Andy Herman, etc., are pushing out there. I'm like, if you guys have been following the news from OTAs, they're like, "What does that stand for? What is it? What are you talking about?" I was like, "Okay, never mind. You guys are like season fans." They're like, "Yeah, we watch every game," and I'm like, "Listen to any podcasts? They read any articles?" Like, "No, just watch the games." Which, I love that.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Different kinds of fans out there. You and me, we're drinking it up every week. Some people, they're just there for the season and to wear the gear, and that's cool.
And I think part of it is because we are Green Bay Packers fans, and because there's so much to the whole organization, how things are, the business of football, how things are run behind the scenes. Obviously, you don't just play 17 games. It's like you have to prepare all year in order to play 17 games. And it's like all that waiting and anticipation and preparation that the teams are doing, not just the players, but the coaches and the actual business organization. I mean, that's really so exciting. And and especially with the Packers, because they're just, special. Like they just announced the shareholders meeting, right? Which you get to go to if you're. The other day I was Ubering somewhere, and I was talking with the Uber driver. He was talking with me. I could tell he had a Midwestern accent. And I guess I asked him where he was from. I think he said, somehow it came up. He said he was from Minnesota. And I don't know how football came up. Anyway, he was like, I said, "Oh, so you're a Vikings fan?" And he said, "Well, actually, I'm a Packers shareholder."
Okay.
Yeah. But then he's like, "Yeah, but it's kind of a long story because I lived in," where did he say? "Oh, Tampa Bay for a long time. And I had season tickets to the Buccaneers. And of course, that was when they were brand new and all that. But yeah, but there are a lot of fans that like all the like the sport in general, and not just one.
Yeah.
I like watching as many games as I can.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it's football. I'll watch anything. But I've worked with a lot of students, who have advised at my job. They'll see the Packers stuff. I'll be like, "Yeah, let's talk about football. Like, who's your favorite team?" They're like, I just like this given player or this particular, whatever specific thing, not a specific team." And those are interesting conversations, because then I can be like, "Well, what do you like about football? Like, what is it that interests you?" And like hearing different perspectives like that aren't just like rooting for my team is always really fascinating.
Yeah. there are certain podcasters that do player profiles from all the teams.
Mhm.
One that I like is Flemlo Raps, but then
Right.
he has a friend KTO. I believe it's KTO. I think he's a Steelers fan, but yeah, they do some really great player profiles, older players, previous players, prior
Mhm.
players, current, all of it. There's so many stories, individual stories of these players and how they got where they are and how they got to play or maybe didn't or just missed. They cover everything, on the player profile. So that's super, like, that's just one little way you can go tangent wise. Like if you're just interested in, the psychology of it all and what it takes to become an NFL, a professional athlete of any
Yeah.
sport. Yeah.
Yeah. So much that goes into it. I know, right?
Oh, so much.
So
Like
Don,
from
I
the
didn't get a chance to ask you though. I'm gonna back up a step here. Wait a minute. Don, how have you been? It's been 3 weeks. We haven't really been in touch a ton. Like, wait a minute. How have you been?
I'm good. I had I guess we didn't go on last week because I had a procedure and it was very successful on my spine. So that's
Good.
great. Yeah,
That's great.
I do go through these things, procedures kind of on the regular, but this is like, oh my gosh, so much relief. So not immediately saw 48 hours of rest, but now I'm like, oh God, I'm so glad I'm not in like number 10 pain every minute.
Oh,
And then
goodness, seriously.
today I was supposed to, as you know, I had a different medical appointment, just totally like with the hand surgeon, and he canceled. So I took an Uber to this, not where I normally go. And so I had an Uber over because it wasn't like I could jump on the train or anything. And, well, no, I was going to take okay, it's a long story. The train didn't come, Ubered, get to where I went like an hour early so I could do some shopping, in that area. And I go to look because I was confused because I did my check-in and everything, but they're like, get here at 1:30. I'm like, why am I? It's not till 2. I looked on my calendar. It's like, no, it's clearly 2. I thought that was wrong. And then I look and it's like appointments canceled. So I like go all the way there. And I'm like, what? I've been waiting 3 months to get this done. Anyway, I was so mad. But anyway, so I just spent the whole day shopping and walking around and I'm exhausted, but that was fun. I got some shopping in, which I haven't done a lot of like lately. I do so much online shopping, but we just like going to stores and just looking at things and being like, oh, I need that. Like, oh, that's cool. It's just like a whole different experience. So I spent the whole day shopping. So what could possibly be wrong?
I mean, that sounds like an awesome way to spend a day, first of all. Second of all, it makes me think of how Kurt Vonnegut had said, like, it's important for humans to spend time farting around, doing stuff like that, like just going to a place and kind of wandering and kind of like just taking, going where the day takes you, I've had, especially coming out of COVID, it's like, man, I have done no farting around. And when you get out there and you go to like a store, maybe that has a coffee shop in it or something like that, you get a coffee, just kind of wander around. Like, sure, that's like, the capitalist dream. I realize playing into like that kind of a thing, but like, it's nice just to fart around, just to drive to places and do things and without a whole lot of purpose. So having a day where you were kind of like, were given the chance to just go fart around. That's beautiful, Dawn. I love that for you.
It was. I was like, I'm not going to be super mad. I'm just going to shop. And here I am. And I like came home with bags of stuff.
There you go. I'd be mad. Yes.
Iowa Joe says going to stores is overrated. It generally is, but sometimes you do. You just have to see what's there.
Depends on the store. Yeah.
True
North says streaming opposite the CFL season opener. Damn. And to that I say, it was bold of them to have their season opener against us having our podcast. So take that.
Also, the first game of the NBA Finals.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. Big day. Big day for that. Big day in news, Don. Aaron Rodgers, signing or going to be signing with the Steelers. I mentioned this to my wife. She's like, that's not Packers news. I'm like, come on. I know it isn't. But this is fun because we're actually playing them this year. So that's big news for that.
I didn't even hear.
Oh yeah. Oh, hey Don, breaking news. In case you missed it.
I'm like, yeah, because I really like we kind of knew that's what he was gonna do. Yeah, so whatever.
Like I would only barely care about it, except for the fact they're actually playing the Steelers this year. So it's like, well, I mean, that's like a 4-hour drive from where I'm at, So maybe trying to make it over there. Maybe might be a fun game to go see. It's on a Sunday night, Thinking about it. We have some family there too, so we'll see. We'll see.
What is that? The 10th game, or is that the Eagles?
It's late October, but I don't know if I think it's. I want to say it's week 8, but I'm not positive about that.
No, if it's October, that would be like the first month. That would be like one of the first games.
No, because it starts in September. So we have September, then October. It's the end of October, so it could be week 8.
Okay. I'm thinking preseason. Yes. It's start preseason. We are 9 weeks from preseason. Can you believe it?
Nice.
9 weeks. It's June. It's June.
Yeah. Oh, I know. When June 1st hit, I was like, wait, I thought we were still in the middle of May. Like, yeah. But Don, I've had a really busy May. Was crazy for me, because quick update. I can't remember if I announced this in the last show, but I got a new gig at UC. So now I am the associate director for retention for the College of Arts and Sciences. And it's just been, we're at the end of the 4th week of that new gig, and it's been awesome, but it's been like drinking from the fire hose. It's been crazy. So, so May just missed me. So I was just, waist deep and like learning new stuff at work and kind of, getting the lay of the land and all that. So it was a good month, but my goodness, woof, head spinning still. And it will be probably for the coming year,
Right. Until you really settle. I'm glad you're enjoying it though, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm looking up the Steelers just because now I got to know.
Now we must know.
Yeah, because I want to know. I don't think I'll be able to go back this year at all. Because,
that's too bad.
Yeah. I know. I need to see my fam. Steelers are, they're not October. They are, they are October. I lied.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
Week 8, Sunday the 26th.
Stuck the landing, Dawn. That's exactly what I said.
So you can go, so it's not in Green Bay. I'm sorry. I guess that's where my brain was at. I'm sorry.
Oh, no apologies needed.
You can go to Philadelphia then. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean,
that's a bit more of a drive.
Pittsburgh. You could go to Philadelphia if you want to.
Yeah. I could go to Philadelphia, I suppose.
I keep getting them mixed up because then 2 weeks later, week 10 is the Eagles. So, yeah. Isn't it weird that Pittsburgh has 2 football teams?
You mean Pennsylvania does?
I mean, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has
who else does? Florida has like 15 teams, right? And
Florida, like
New York.
Yeah.
New York's got like three teams, even though 2 of them are in Jersey. There's a couple of those that are like that. A couple of states that have more than they should have.
California is a big state. It makes sense. Pennsylvania, I guess. I mean, it's just interesting how that works. Indeed. I mean, California is a huge state. Florida, I guess it takes like 8 hours to drive from the tip of Florida to the top of Florida. So that's, I guess.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Terrible drive. Yeah. So
I've heard
it's fine. You can have 3 teams, guys. Fine.
I don't care. I was just saying. I have no skin in that game.
That's right.
I am on the good stuff. I'm just exhausted. I am happy and exhausted, but really tired. But still kind of Good. Anyway, okay. So let's see. So 9 weeks till preseason. You can go to Pittsburgh because Rodgers is now going to be a quarterback. I think we'll kill them. We'll just kill them. So that'll be fun.
It's fun having Aaron Rodgers go to another team he can implode because, as somebody who kind of cares about the Bengals because of my adopted home, any rivals of the Bengals doing badly, delights my in-laws, my family members here. So yeah, to see the kind of destruction that Rodgers can do with the Steelers, that'll be fun to see happen, you know?
Yeah, I'm still blown away that Tomlin allowed that all to happen. And why? Because why not just bring in a new develop some, because he's only going to be around for a minute. I mean, he's 100 years old.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's the future of their, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it should be entertaining no matter what. And that's what we're here for, Don. We're here for the entertainment. We're here for the crazies.
So what are you most excited about with the OTA news?
I think it sounds like a weird thing to say, but I'm most excited to hear that Kenny Clark was injured all of last season because he had such a bad year by his own standards. It's like, oh, there was a good reason for it. It's not like he just fell off and is bad at football now. So for me, that was like really happy to hear that. But apart from that, like, you know, reports of like Matthew Golden looking the part out there made me very happy. But you know, there's so little you can glean from the OTAs other than just like little morsels of football are happening. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, hit this one. True North says in the chat here. Speaking of crazies, Jair showed up for camp. Yes, well put.
Oh, well, I don't blame him for not playing if he doesn't have a contract.
Well, yeah,
yeah. I mean, practicing
indeed
or whatever.
But how about you, Don? Do you have a thing from OT that you found like really fun, interesting, anything like that?
Just that the team vibe seems really good again. And we like that, and I think even more so than last year. I mean, it was great last year, but in the year before, but it's just gelling, and the team is still super young, and I'm excited about that. Just the whole vibe, at how close they were last year.
Yeah. And what Wes was saying on Unscripted, that he feels like the team has like a palpable hunger out there that is different than last year. Because last year was like coming off the good vibes of like a really fun, unexpectedly good first year of, you know, Jordan Love as the starter. So then, you know, last year was more like the coming down to earth a little bit. So, you know, now Wes is like, he can sense that they know what they can do, and they're excited to actually get out there and do it, and they're hungry for it. And it's like, ooh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, that was a good take. That is mostly okay. So as far as content I'm taking in, it's all the Mike and Wes stuff. They're super. You could just tell how pumped they are this year. And Paul Farrington has been fun.
I have not checked him out in a while. I'll have to actually get back on that.
Yeah, he's had some fun takes, and then getting some more news about like, so the Lions center, what's his name? Ragnar. Yes, he is retiring.
Yeah,
which is a big deal. Yeah, that's not great for them. So we like that.
Yeah, it's good for us. Yep.
Happy retirement. Yeah. And yeah, let's see what other kind of, and so my content has just been all over the place. So I don't have a collective, I'm just enjoying. And I'm just enjoying a lot. Oh, and I'm also like doing a lot of in terms of content, in terms of, hey, we like your pod. I'm taking in a lot of other podcasts, non-football too. And there are 2 trials going on right now. The Karen Reed trial is still going on. I mentioned it before. It was, I think, going to be 8 weeks, but it's getting closer. Maybe has another week or week and a half left. And that one's a really important trial. And then the 3rd trial of Lori Daybell just started today. I listened to opening statements before I left, and then I've gone all day. So yeah, it is Reg now. See, I got that right.
Yeah, no, you got that. Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. And Joe says, that's why I've been doing off-season, off-topic. It's very little news, too many podcasts. Rehashing. Yes, the rehashing. And then the other thing is, because I can't seem to get my podcast, doing so much YouTube that I'm not listening like on my Apple. And so then if I just get really annoyed with all the embedded ads, not the because I pay for an ad free, but then it's like they're dropping them in anyway, like in the embeds. That's just beyond annoying. I just really wish podcasters would stop it. Yes, I know they need to make a living, but
they make money, Dawn. That's what it is.
No, but there's ways to do it, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just saying it makes me not listen to as much content as I would.
That.
Yeah. There's been a lot of really fun Tooth and Claws, which I listen to relax. Yeah, right. Animal Attacks.
Which we learned about from John Meerdink, I believe.
I love it so much. And it's getting to be, that time of year where there's going to be more and more, people at Yellowstone deciding to walk up to a grizzly bear. And I love it. Go ahead. Walk up to that moose. That seems like a really good idea. But no, with the Tooth and Claw, I love because it's an animal biologist, and you're getting educated. It's very interesting, intriguing stories. Like, he's a good storyteller. The three guys are just there. I have to stop watching it at night or listening at night because they're so funny that I start laughing and then I can't go to sleep because they're really entertaining. So, anywho, let's not go on forever. Let's do some. What do you have for us this week, Maddie?
Well, I've got some. I'm wondering if you can hit the thing. Hit the thing. Do the thing. Come on, do the thing. Do the thing.
Oh my gosh! It's time for this week's superlatives.
You were not even going to hit it. You were forgetting all about our transition, Dawn.
I am so out of practice. I'm forgetting how to do things. I went to the wrong StreamYard link. I'm just like,
oh goodness,
today.
We're out of practice. It's just out of practice. That's all it is. Dawn, I have 3 and a bonus superlative this evening. Shall I start with one of them?
Yeah, start with all of them. I'm going to look and see if I wrote anything down. I don't think I did.
I'll just blast through them then, Dawn. All right, here we go.
Okay.
My first superlative. It's funny because I kind of like half mentioned this last time we recorded, because we were talking about like the deep dives into the new players for the Packers, the draft picks especially, not as much the UDFAs, but a lot of people doing a lot of content out there. It's been kind of spilling over across many weeks. Well, last time I talked about Andy Herman's deep dives, they're great. And I had mentioned offhand the Father Son Packers podcast, with Tommy and Matt, father and son. I think I had that son and father backwards there, but regardless, they just recently finished up their whole series of them because they go once a week, so it's like they're not getting them as quickly as like say a pack a day would. But man, they just really knocked it out of the park. The depth they go into, the statistics they bring in, the information that other people aren't mentioning, so they're not just rehashing the same stuff, there's a good amount of like freshness to the way they talk about it. And of course, they're just like funny to listen to and just entertaining. So best deep dives, kind of like mention number 2 then is going to be the Father Son Packers podcast for the work they did talking about our new players.
Oh, all the drafts, or both drafts and free agent.
The drafted players, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Would recommend. Have you checked any other episodes out about that stuff at all? Have you heard those?
Not lately. Nope. I will. Recommend. I promise.
Yeah. Get up on it. I mean, that's the kind of thing like we've talked about when people are doing content about like new players from the draft. You don't have to listen to it right away. You have until August to get up on that. So it's like especially with. Once the OTAs are done, it's like it is, just there's no football news happening. So that's like, the content creation is much slower, and that's the time to get caught up on those things. So basically, I'm saying you haven't heard them yet, Dom, and that's okay. You got time. It is all good.
And I will. And I that's why I love that. I mean, that we're doing this. That's why we're doing this podcast. So we can share we're not sharing tonight. I'm just taking from you. I'm just being greedy. But the only thing I'm waiting for is I'm still like I was stalking Jordan Love and Monica Stone's Instagram to see when they're getting married, waiting for wedding pictures. She had like a bridal shower and like, oh, but I guess they're waiting unless they did it and they're not telling people, like doing the pictures later or whatever. But I'm thinking, okay, so after OTAs before practice, because there's going to be a few weeks then. Whereas
get married, do a honeymoon.
He's been in Green Bay for like since the draft practically. So yeah. I don't know why I just brought that up, but yeah. Emma.
Yeah, quick shout out to Emma. Hey Emma. Thanks for joining us.
Hey Emma.
All right, now should do my next one.
Okay.
All right. Next superlative for me this week. Okay, this is a good one, Don. This is a good one. Best off-season madness. Okay, so I just mentioned John Meredith a minute ago because he introduced us to Tooth and Claw podcast. He also wrote a great article for Acme Packing Company this last week. The title, this is great. Which Packers players exaggerate their heights the most? So this is awesome. He you know how John Meredith is. He'll like dig into something. He'll get into it. He's not just gonna write a quick little glancing article. So he did some real research digging into like what the heights are listed for the Packers players on the Packers roster, like on Packers.com. What were those players' heights from like the scouting combine? What were their heights on their like college websites, from when they're on the rosters in college, and like comparing them all and seeing like where are the biggest differences, disparities. What does it mean? What can you glean from it? Like, what are the insights to be had? And it was hilarious. Like, first of all, funny topic in and of itself. I think for me, it's really funny because my wife and I talk about this a lot, about how like most male celebrities will add a couple of inches, to like how tall they will tell, the public and PR and everything else, like how tall they are. Like if you look up a male actor's height on IMDb, if it's like at 6 feet, they're definitely not 6 feet tall. They're going to be like 5'10" If it's above 6 feet, they maybe added a couple inches, but like women never do that. Right. So this whole thing, like of football players' heights being, exaggerated in many cases, I found especially funny for that reason. But, just his writing was really amusing and, a formidable amount of research that he did digging into it. So I highly recommend that one. It was very amusing and very informative.
I like it, and it's not the same old stuff being rehashed. It's very original.
That's right. More fresh stuff. Exactly. That's kind of funny you say that because I'm realizing that most of the stuff I'm talking about from our superlatives this week, is just that. It's not the rehashed stuff at all. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why. I mean, that's what we like. The off the wall, off the norm, not off the wall. Well, off the wall too. Off the wall is okay.
Sure. Off the wall's great.
Off the beaten path kind of stuff.
Off the beaten path. There you go. I like that.
True North says,
go ahead.
As Dawn's lawyer, I would like to advise the police that she was only joking about stalking Jordan Love and his fiance. Emma, in my defense, defends me saying what she says on the podcast shouldn't be used against her.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you for being my lawyer, and thank you for hopefully not using that against me. I'm just excited. I just like that we have such a normal quarterback doing normal things.
It is nice. So I have my third superlative. Would you like to hear it, Dawn?
I just started reading Joe's comment. Okay, yes, go.
All right, so my third one is best new crew. Now they had started the last time we talked, but I want to give them a couple weeks to see how they did. It's the Friday Pack a Day crew. This is our friends Aaron Alice and Jimmy Christensen and Jen Curtin. Dawn, I wanted to ask you, have we had Jen Curtin on our show? I should know this, but do you know off the top of your head?
I don't think so.
I think we talked about it. I don't know. There's a chance we have. I'm not sure. But regardless, I was like, do I say friends of the show or anyhow? So Aaron and Jimmy, of course, we've had on. But and if we haven't had Jen, we're gonna have her on. But anyhow,
really?
they're the new Friday crew for Pack a Day, and they're hilarious. I mean, Jimmy and Aaron, of course, have recorded a lot because they used to do my old favorite podcast, On Brand and Off Topic, and before that, Whiskoholics. And so they have like the established chemistry and rapport, and they're really, really funny together. And so then adding in Jen Curtin is like a different element entirely, and just seeing like the rapport they have, the approach they bring to trying to do a Pack a Day podcast, which, you know, not like the most formal podcast in the world, but it's also like not the silliest. But, you know, Jimmy definitely brings the silly energy to the things. But at the same time, he has really good takes. I mean, they all do. So it's a kind of a breath of fresh air in a way, you know, to the 7-day non-Andy Pack a Day episodes, and I'm really enjoying it. They're doing great work. I love those guys.
I like that. I don't think I've met Jen, meaning on our podcast, or and I know I would have remembered because her name is so much like Jane Curtin.
I never thought of that. That's funny.
And I would have totally. Yeah. Jane, you ignorant. No. Famous line. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if there's a connection there. Jen Curtin. Great person. Like, she's so funny. Super funny. They're still arguing in the chat about.
Yeah. Oh, they're talking about Jimmy. You know, there's a lot of folks here in the chat right now who were big, you know, Lombardi's Bar folks. And, you know, everyone gave Jimmy a hard time on that show. So there's a lot of that going on there. And also people defending and not defending you.
And no, I haven't been attacked by my cat since, you know, the last big one. I mean, the last really big one. That was it. She knows better now.
It was yesterday, right?
No. I had to grab her today, and I was like, ooh. Like, I was getting her from behind and like grabbing her like this. She don't normally do with a cat, and she didn't bite me. I mean, that was the last time. I mean, she got like thrown across the room. I'm sorry. It was just my reaction because she was in my muscle, in my arm. I had to get her off of me. Yeah. So,
that was a while back, wasn't it? That's like a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
That was the last time. She hasn't scratched or anything. So I got her catnip bubbles out last night. I put them away for a while because she gets obsessive. But and I did a little today before the show just to kind of keep her. And so now she's napping off the catnip. She's sleeping it off. She's not biding her time. Tosh is not planning anything. She's not that smart. She's just not the smartest cat. Like, a lot of people have really smart cats.
Not Tosh. Not your Toshi.
No. She's, like, I've taught my mom's cat to, you know, to catch, to retrieve like a dog. Tosh just like looks at me like I'm nuts. Like, she's just not. She's a good cat. She's good, but she's not that bright.
Gotcha.
Oh, I don't know. Did I tell you I got hummingbird feeders?
No, what? Those are fun. Hummingbirds are amazing.
Well, we have jillions of them that nest in the trees, right? So all along my apartment. Ooh. So all she has to do is sit and look at them. But I wanted more. So I got hummingbird feeders and hung them right outside her catio.
Oh, okay.
Oh, she's having so much fun.
Crazy. She'll love it.
Poor hummingbirds. They're like, I think I'm going to move them out a little farther away. But yeah, hummingbirds are crazy. And we have these beautiful orioles. They're Western orioles. And then we have another one. I think it's called, I forgot what kind of, it's so exotic looking. It's got like a red head and like a pinkish, and then it has orange. It's just almost looks like a canary coloring. And they make these amazing sounds. So I got an Oriole feeder. trying to get these Orioles to come. But I think they're too smart.
Yeah, I think they're a smarter bird. Yeah.
Much smarter. But they nest in the palm trees right behind us. So I get to see them. And they go in the trees here. I've seen them in the trees where the hummingbirds are. Because they're all like trees with a lot of flowers, red flowers and yellow flowers. So they like that. But I want them to come because I have really good stuff for them, like Oriole food. Yeah, for nutrition. And you know what I mean? I want them to have good food.
Healthy Orioles, definitely.
Yeah, so they have more and stuff. Anywho.
So, yeah, I was going to say, Dawn. So, I said I had 3 superlatives and a bonus. Excuse me. The bonus is not exactly a superlative, but rather a moment of thanks and appreciation. So, one of my favorite things about anytime there's something to do with OTAs or training camp happening is having the alerts from Andy Herman on my home screen on my phone to distract me while I'm at work. And, I love especially when they're like doing a 2-minute drill. And Andy's giving like the play-by-play, the blow-by-blow on it, So just as a moment of thanks and appreciation to Andy and your thumbs. That sounds weird to say it that way, but buddy, appreciate it. Keep the updates coming, the whole time. It's awesome. It's so much fun.
And that's a Twitter thing, right?
Yep. Yeah. So I'm not really like active on Twitter, not really, but still have the alert set up so that stuff comes through to my phone.
Right.
That's why I knew that Aaron Rodgers signed with the Steelers.
What?
So that's why I knew that Aaron Rodgers signed with the Steelers. Yeah, because it's right there.
I'm just going to check real quick if he's doing it on. I will say not being on Twitter has really separated me from a lot of like content.
Yeah.
Not content, but just tweets, Yeah,
just tweets. Kind of, It's content. Yeah.
That is Twitter content. I'm just looking to see if he did his live blogging on Twitter. I mean on StreamYard, but it doesn't look like he did.
You mean on Blue Sky?
Sorry?
You mean are you looking to see if Andy did the same stuff on Blue Sky? Is that what you're looking for?
Right. Doesn't look
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's kind of worth it. It's kind of worth not being on Twitter. I don't know that it's just, Yeah.
I mean, I don't scroll on Twitter at all because there's too much random right-wing propaganda that shows up on there, so I'm not like spending time for them. I'm just there for like the updates, basically. Excuse me.
Yeah. I have to jump on there rarely, like to message someone that's only on Twitter because there's no messaging on YouTube.
Or I suppose
other places. It's like, okay, I'll have to do that. I probably could get their email, but God, email. That's almost like answering your phone. That's why the doctor was like, well, we called you like 3 times. And I was like, why? Like, why would you do that? Because my phone won't recognize your number and it won't ring.
Yeah.
And I won't answer it anyway.
And if it did. Yep.
Anyway. Like, why do people do things like that in this world, like now? Because no one answers your phone. I mean, the reason we don't answer our phones is because of spamming and all that junk. So, I mean, if I only knew that I was getting calls like back in the day that mattered to me, I'd answer the phone. But I kind of forget about it now. It's like, oh, I have a phone that actually you can call people with. And
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah. I totally agree.
I was shocked. Like, who called you? Like, you called me. Who does that? I was so mad. Anyway, those are great superlatives. And yes, Andy, thank you for all you do. He does so much, and it's so great.
He does so much. Yes. Yeah. Cool, Don. Well, anything else you want to talk about tonight, or should we bring her home? What do you think?
Let's bring her home. Iowa Joe just says he doesn't like hear people talking. That's true. And Emma agrees. Not being on Twitter is amazing. I can't remember. I was thinking about you, Emma, yesterday. It was Pedro. What's this guy's name?
Pedro Pascal.
Pascal. I thought
Emma's husband. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Emma.
Mr. Emma. That's right.
Somebody brought him up for something. Oh, on one of the podcasts I was listening. I think it might have been Tooth and Claw. And I can't even remember what it was, but I was like, oh, I got to ask Emma about that. And then I totally forgot what it was. Maybe he was in a movie.
He's in a lot of stuff right now. He's in all kinds of stuff right now. So he's in everything right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. All right, kids. Well, Matt's going on vacation. It's not my fault for a couple of weeks.
This time. Nope. That's right. We'll be back in 3 weeks because I'll be on vacation. I'll be on a beach. I'm excited about that.
Ooh, that's so nice.
Yes.
You worked hard for that. And hopefully when you come back, I can be back too, because I've got things going on. I'm not going anywhere, but yeah, for sure. So we're planning to come back in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait. I'll be able to tell you tales of vacation and just can't get caught up. I always love that very much.
Honestly, I hope there's no news from the Packers for a few weeks, because
there probably won't be much. Yeah.
No news is good news, right? At downtime, right? When they're off.
Yeah, I think the only news we might go to be like, looks like Jair actually signed with them, so that's official, and we can stop worrying about that. That might be like the one actual news that comes out in the next 3 weeks, maybe. So. All right, Don, I'm gonna go to the outro here then. So, friends, we'd love to have a chance to interview you and shout you out if you're a subscriber and a football fan. If you'd like to nominate someone to be a guest on our podcast, please let us know. Our DMs are open on all the social platforms. And folks, when you subscribe to our podcast, you help us to keep spreading the love in our community. And the best way to help this podcast grow is by sharing it with your friends and family.
Yes, Maddie, that's right, because we love you. We're so glad to know you, to be fans of you, and have the luxury of being fans of the most storied team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate your support, your subscriptions, and sharing our pod. And we look forward to seeing you in 3 weeks.
Hey, we like your pod.
Football in general comes down to discipline and people owning their roles. And when you aren't disciplined or you go outside the scheme, bad stuff happens.